Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're going to do some work on a much needed project. I have a pineapple guava planting in a forest style, and I am definitely going to prune it down because it's probably about 3.5, 4 feet tall at this point. And take a look at what we got down there. I know some of the trees had died. I grew them really tight together by seed, from seed, and then I just transplanted them all from the little seed tray I grew them in into the pot that it's currently in. So some of them had died off, the ones that were getting shaded out and not getting enough sun. So we'll take a look. If they're not in a nice little organization, I might repot today, but certainly a pruning. So pineapple guava forest, that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so experimenting with this little mat that I can turn into, a big pot. All right, so first experiment with using this backdrop. It doubles as you could snap the corners together, and it's great for repotting indoors so you don't get soil all over the place. So this is the first time using it as a backdrop. Seen a couple of my broskies do some upgraded backdrops lately in black. I thought it looked nice, so I figured why not put it to use and give it a try. So I think the fact that there isn't a cloud in the sky and the sun is coming in intensely in this later morning pruning, you might get some shading out, but whatever. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you never get everything done, right? So here it is, pineapple guava forest, all grown from seed. So we're looking at probably they're going to be 2 years old next month. So basically, this was in our bedroom for a while, and I had to move it out once we got our grandkitty because she, if you have a cat, I'm sure they're all menaces with your plants. So I took it out here, and it's sitting in like a nursery pot in this ugly gold pot. This was like a return that my friend worked at a nursery, and so they couldn't sell it, so they just gave it to me. So whatever, as a decorative like plant, while it's still a baby, it was fine. I really don't like it, but whatever, it's fine. So maybe I'll raise these canopies a little bit and take the tops down a little bit, and then we'll see how the layout is. I really would like to not have to do a repotting or rearrangement with this guy because, like I said, I grew them all from seed, and then I literally slid a bunch of them into this pot, and then this is where it's remained ever since. So we got some really tall ones. This isn't a definitive height on what I'm going with. I just want to be able to get in there and look. So we might go lower. But for now, let's just do this. I don't know if there's branching. I really don't know. I think maybe I've pruned this whole thing one time and I just took a pair of scissors and went across the top. I have a couple of specimens with these, and they were doing well. I don't know if they have their own version of dormancy, but one of them lost its leaves entirely, and then there was a little mame I had with 2 of these in it, and I think one of them died. So this forest planting is the healthiest of all the pineapple guavas I have currently. So we got some low branches coming outside the pot. I'll just snip those back too. So we got some great American football tonight. I think it's the semifinals. So I'm excited. That starts around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just staying out of the cold this morning. About 13 degrees outside this morning. I let the flock out. Oh my gosh, by the time I got inside after 5 minutes, I was frozen. Had to hop in the hot shower to thaw out. A lot of variance in thickness here. So let me see. Raise the canopies a bit so that we can take a look in there. See, it's a nice dark green leaf because these are older, but when it comes in, they're like bright light green. So nice. And I like the name Pineapple Guava. That's what intrigued me, and that's why I ordered them. And they germinated relatively easily. Okay, that's the top of all of them. Now, so if you missed it, I did a two-part update of what's going on at the ranch right now in January 2021. So I showed the trees that I have down in the basement. They're in dormancy. And then my winterized bonsais outside, how I did that setup. And then an update on the tree farm and Japanese garden. So if you missed it and you don't have anything going on, oh, we got some spider mites here. I'm glad I did this. Just got a little bit of webbing at the tip, so definitely they're new. Looks like a tiny little one has germinated after probably just now, just like this past month. I'll leave that. That's cool. That's happened to me a bunch this year, where you repurpose soil and there's seeds in it from what you thought was failed germination, and then out of nowhere they just start growing. I had a ton of Delonix regias do that. Probably between 10 and 15. So you can go around with scissors and do this. I don't think I'm doing any harm just pulling the leaves off with my fingers. I just figure it's faster. Not that I'm in a rush, but you know what I'm saying. Got some sticky sap on some of these, which is indicative of, could be scale, could be flies laying eggs. Oh, yep, there's scale. Oh, great. Multiple insects attacking this forest. It's crazy. I've seen that a whole bunch lately on other Bonsai Broski's channels in different continents, countries, hemispheres. Everybody has scale issues, so if you don't, you're doing something right. You're lucky. Yeah, that's what it's sticky from, is the scale. Alright, starting to get a look in here. Looks like we have some branching going on, which is cool. And they are kind of grouped close together. I think probably this spring, since it has some infestation, and I'm pruning it, I'm not going to prune it and treat it for the infestation while it's under duress, also repot it. I think that would just be setting it up for failure. Alright, so I'm going to put it on a time lapse, kind of go around in here, and then we'll talk about what I'm going to do after. Alright, so this is my solution of peppermint all natural dish soap, and so it's got peppermint oil in it and also some cinnamon oil, and I have noticed that it does the trick without burning up the majority of my species. You know, poinsettias and things like that are a little sensitive, and my my cherimoya trees, those leaves turned a little bit yellow, but the sun is so intense coming through the windows this winter that that's probably why more than anything. So I'm going to give it a spritz here, and then it's really dry. That was part of the reason why I wanted to take a look at it today. This thing soaks up water faster than any of my other plants, like maybe an avocado planting is the only other one that drinks faster. So now that it's not such a huge forest, we're able to come in here and take a look at everything. And I kind of like it. There's a couple of clumpings here. There's a baby coming in back here, so that'll be another little clumping. And then you got two pretty thick ones off to the side there. So I wouldn't even say that I have a front right now because it's in a round pot and not a bonsai pot. But if I had to do a front, I think I would do it like that. So your eyes could come on in and take a look at all the trunks and then work your way up. Like if we did it like that, you wouldn't see half of the trees. So I took them down a little bit shorter up here. And then this would be my apex here, this center powerful tree. I noticed in the beginning, these are definitely difficult to thicken up. So going on 2 years, you see, you know, there isn't one of them that's as wide as my pinky. So not too much scale, and only that one branch had spider mites in it. So I'll just give this a hosing down, and then I'm going to water this thing and flush out any excess oils. But you definitely want to spray your soil too, just in case, you know, there's like little eggs that are getting ready to hatch. Okay. So I kind of went through on the time lapse and cleaned up all these little joints so that I could see the branch structure. And it looks like there's a bunch of buds getting ready to take off as well. So it'll be exciting to see. I'm happy that I let it just develop looking like a house plant, because then I didn't really focus on the fact that they were really slow growing and skinny and all that. So I, you know, just kept watering it, giving it nutrients, and this is going to be a promising planting in the future. So let's get in there closely. See what I'm talking about. See this little baby over here? That one. Boom, boom. So that's cool. So then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trees, which I believe 8 is a lucky number in bonsai and Japanese and Chinese cultures. So that's cool. The infinity symbol. Yeah, cool. I'm happy with that. So that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the pineapple guava forest. I had a lot of fun doing it. It's always nice to actually get to practice your art and not just water, which a lot of the winter months is just keeping your plants hydrated. So from my family, yours, stay safe. Have a great Sunday, y'all. And go Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cheers, y'all.